Hello people and all the fanatics of electrical skateboarding. Most importantly, hello eSkate Freedom members. So, next video in a line of requested videos. Thank you very much for your questions. There are no stupid questions. There are no simple or hard questions, okay? There's all things I don't know, and if I don't, we got really clever guys on the group who are kind of, jumping in and answering the hard ones. So I will take on the easy ones. So, question of today. How do you maintain your bearings? Question was about Evolve board. So it's pretty much generic for all the skateboards. All the skateboards got the bearings. There could be different sizes for 8mm or 12mm axle, but principle is the same. For starters, try not to ride your skateboard in wet conditions. It's dangerous, can slide. Yeah, you kind of get water everywhere and things rust, and there are no truly 100% waterproof skateboards, electrical skateboards out there, but what is the fun? So, you either got stuck by accident, riding, driving around, having fun in the rain, or you've done it on purpose. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to tell you how to do this cleaning thing, and as you guys said or asked, from the start, for the beginners. So here we go. So what you do start with is you take your provided T-tool, or you can use a ratchet. I do use a ratchet, but do not over tighten the nuts. And you take the nut off the axle to release the wheel. I'm not going to do it particularly for this board. My beast always been looked after. It's got expensive bearings in there, and they're good. But let's pretend I took the wheel off. Just a side note, guys, if you a new viewer, subscriber, or whatever not, yeah, I've got videos on my channel already available about different bearings, the tests of them, the spin tests, the quality of them. I've got videos on the lock nuts, what do you need to know about them, about the spacers, about grip tape, mate, about tube protectors, so many that I feel bad, they kind of get buried because I'm not such a huge YouTube, I'm not being promoted everywhere. And info is sitting there, and you guys actually ask the questions. So people get pissed off when they send links out to those videos, but what's the point filming another if one already does exist, or type on personal messenger explaining something that could be just shown. But it's just me. Anyway, just check it out, guys. There's shed loads of information there. And anyway, it is what it is. So, where is the wheel? So imagine you taking the wheel off. Let me just say something about the way everything goes back together. It's going to be much more simple if I do it this way. So, I have assembled little thingy here like this. So this is the way everything goes back together one by one. So this part here is your axle, so here would have been your kingpin, and this is your nut. Obviously wheel is here. So when you put everything back together, make sure that speed washer goes on first, then you got the bearing, which will be inside the hub on one side, then the spacer, which doesn't let the nut to crush the bearings and stop them from working correctly, second bearing, next speed washer, and then a nut. Okay, if nut goes on the threads by hand, you have to replace it, otherwise it will come off while you're riding. Okay, got it? So lock nut, speed washer, bearing, spacer, bearing, speed washer. Simples. Most of the times, especially on Evolve hubs, the bearings do normally fall out and stay on the axle when you take the wheel off. They're quite loose, but if they didn't, use like a screwdriver or something thin, and when you put it down through the hole, you can actually angle whatever you're sticking in, like a pencil or something, so you can catch on to the side of the bearing and just push it out. When you do push it out, you'll have obviously two bearings and the spacer in your hands. Okay, So in order to, let's say, clean or maintain your bearings, there's two things you can do. Just do it like, you know, with the stuff you got home, or you can go fancier and get yourself a bearing cleaner kit. Okay, I'm not, you know, promoting anything you see like bones. It doesn't have to be. This is just what I've got. But to be honest with you, had it for 2 years and never used it because I'm doing it a little bit differently. So what you would have is you will get an instruction of how to do everything and what to use, what not to use, blah blah blah. Most importantly, get one of these funny bits here. This is like a threaded rod with a lot of spaces. You can, what you do is you put your bearings in there and you sandwich in between them spacers. Then you put cleaning liquid into this jar. Obviously everything goes in, and there we go. Now you got your bearings spaced out inside the liquid. It tells you what to use, what is here. Please make sure the fill instructions are followed. Be sure to use recommended cleaning agents and don't use water-based solvents or WD-40. It's actually right here. Well, I'll get to that. Well, WD-40 is just a quick fix for some sort of like a squeaking door. WD-40 does dry stuff out, okay? So it will sound like it's good for first an hour, and then it's just gonna get worse. So don't use WD-40. Anyway, so you put the cleaner in there, you like shake it up, you leave it, it all soaks and gets clean and whatever. Well, I've never used it. So anyway, it's gonna go back on the shelf. The way I do this, and this is probably what you are after, my friend, so you don't have to buy all this fancy smancy stuff. So you take your bearing, just like that. And now what you have on the bearing, all of them bearings, you got the dust seal. That's that black plasticky thingy. So since you asked the question, and obviously you did say you were riding in the mud and dirty waters, whatever not, so you'll be all, you know, dirty. So what you do first, obviously, let's imagine it's really dirty. You clean it all up, so you don't have to work on all this, on that mess, or introduce more crap inside the bearing itself. Then you take a Stanley knife, blade. Doesn't have to be this particular blade. It could be anything sharp that you can use to pick the dust seal up without actually damaging it or cutting it. So be gentle. Work all the way around. There we go. And the dust seal is off. As simple as this. And what you will see inside are your actual, see, I'm going to see if I can, I don't think I can actually pick him out, so I can show it to you. Actual balls in the bearing, okay? This here is the divider or spacer that keeps the balls where they should be sitting inside, okay? So what you do is, you don't have to take this spacer kind of out, yeah? So you got like teeth on it, and that's where the balls actually sitting in between. It's got nice grease all the way around. This is a new bearing, so I took it apart for you to show you. But imagine, because you was riding in crappy conditions, all of that potentially could have water sitting in there, and dust and grit and shit, okay? So what I do, just put it on a rag, yeah, just like that, and you spray. I'm using brake and clutch cleaner, okay? Again, people might criticize, but you know what, don't give a shit. This is what I do. I've been doing it for years and it's working fine. It dries up straight away and it's like it wasn't there. So you spray it up. What you do is angle the bearing a little bit towards the rag, and when you spray it like this, as you can see, it actually drips out, and all the crap and dust and whatever will come out. And because it's a obviously brake and clutch cleaner, it dries up straight away. So you'll end up with a nice and clean surface. Okay, simple as that. So what you do is then you clean the dust seal. You know, you don't have to take the other side off if you want to, but I wouldn't, because you already got it from the inside while you're cleaning it. And you can clean this divider, separator, ball separator, whatever you want to fucking call it. Okay, boom. So now what you have? Now you have clean bearing, but it's now dry. It does not have any lubricant in it. Okay, so let's get the spacer back in, because what you need to do is separate the balls, the ball bearings. Separate the balls, fucking hell. Separate the ball bearings to where they need to sit, just like that, and click, click. It's all back together. Okay, boo-la-la, nice. And now what you need to do is simply apply lubricant. Again, there are different lubricants out there, green slime, this and that. I bought this Bone Speed cream again years ago. I think it came together with a kit that I showed you before, this one here. And shake it up, we always do with everything. You only need very, very little, otherwise it's going to be dripping out everywhere. So what I do is I just put one drip on one side, one drip on another side, third and fourth. So kind of top, bottom, left, right. Okay, then I put it like that between my fingers and I spin the bearing. And now the lubricant is just going to spread itself around every single ball bearing and do a nice little coating all around it. Ta-da! You finito. Obviously do not forget about the dust cap, how would you call it, seal, dust seal, that's it, that's the one. And well, it just goes in, back in. So now you got yourself a nice clean bearing. That's it. So hopefully this video will answer your question, probably in full, and I showed you more than actually asked for, but this is it. Okay, so feel free to share with your friends or whoever else got the same question or wants to maintain the bearings. Ride safely, and well, that's it. I'll see you next time, guys. All the best.